Both Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers appear to be searching for their next team, which begs the question, which aging signal caller would you rather have at this point?
I know I can still play. I know I can still do the things I need to do to be successful.
How's it going today, POV fam? Welcome back to Point of View. As always, we appreciate your comments and feedback like this one, so be sure to drop a comment because you may see it in a future video. But to today's topic, which past their prime quarterback are you digging up from the bargain bin? First, I'll give you the pros and cons for each, and my personal opinion at the end. But as always on POV, tell us your preference in the comments. Now, any deal hunter out there knows that when you're on the lookout for a bridge QB, you'll have to take the bad with the good, as none of these guys will be perfect, especially at this point in their careers. Each quarterback just finished their first season after a major season-ending injury as well. Let's put our rose-colored glasses on and try to focus on the upsides, beginning with Mr. Kirk Chains. For starters, Cousins is 5 years younger than Rodgers and does seem like he already bounced back a little more from his injury. He played 3 fewer games than Rodgers did this season as he was benched for Michael Penix, but he had almost as many passing yards as Rodgers as he averaged over 20 yards more per game. His completion percentage and QBR were higher, and he was better in several advanced metrics like bad throw and on-target percentages. If we scale out and look at his last 3 seasons, the year before the injury through the year after, Cousins did play in 4 more games, but has almost 3,000 more yards. And look at the rest of these numbers. Cousins has more touchdowns, a much higher completion percentage, better passer rating, QBR, and while record isn't necessarily a quarterback stat, Cousins was keeping his team in the game as he won almost 10 games more than he lost, while Rodgers' teams only won a third of the games he started. Even though he was benched, you could even say that there was some positives as he was in his first season in a new system and had the Falcons at 7-7, whereas the team finished only 1-2 with Penix, including a loss at home against the Carolina Panthers in a must-win game. The one intangible Cousins seems to have over Rodgers is leadership. Now, I'm not being a spiteful Packer fan saying Rodgers isn't a good leader or anything like that, but Cousins' characteristics are clearly that of a more stereotypical leader of an NFL offense. But don't take my word for it. Here's what Cousins said after he was benched.
Coach let me know yesterday that going to make a change at quarterback. It's pro football, and there's a standard that I have for myself, that the team has for me. That unfortunately, I wasn't playing for that standard consistently enough, and so it is what it is, and you roll with it, and now you still get ready, one play away kind of a thing, and support Mike, and just try to help our team, be able to find a way to win these last 3 to get in the playoffs, and that's what it's all about. So that's my focus, and take any questions. Yeah.
See what I mean? So while this comparison may seem lopsided now, trust me, it's a lot closer than it may seem. Before we get into that, I just want to remind you that we drop POV episodes featuring the most interesting perspective on the sports world, mine 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm talking the stories you won't get anywhere else, so remember to join the discussion, smack that subscribe button right now, and turn on notifications so you're always in the know. Now back to the comparison, because it's time for Rodgers' rebuttal. Rodgers' tenure in New York didn't get off on the right foot, literally, as he suffered an Achilles injury just 4 plays into his first game in a Jets uniform. He returned this past season, but he definitely didn't look like the same old Rodgers. The Jets did bring in 3 new offensive linemen to help out Rodgers, but he and the offense got off to a slow start, which is why Rodgers' stats appeared to be night and day after Week 8. Just look at Rodgers' stats from these first 7 games compared to the last 10. I'm not going to say Aaron found the fountain of youth or anything, but those stats are actually better than his last full season in Green Bay. Maybe there is something to those dark retreats after all. Also, given the O-line instability early on in the season, Rodgers was sacked 40 times and he still played the entire season, which demonstrates that he is still pretty durable. Rodgers also had a better passer rating, touchdown percentage, and interception percentage than Cousins did this year. Oh, and he wasn't benched, which may sound arbitrary, but it shows that at no point did the Jets think a different QB on the roster gave them a better chance to win. Now, Rodgers may be older, but his confidence is as high as ever, and he appeared to indicate that he still believes he can play and wants to do so as well. But of course, had to only insinuate this answer in true Aaron Rodgers fashion.
Well, I've done it once. Obviously, there's a lot of hypotheticals here. So if I want to play, hypothetical number 1. If they want to move on, hypothetical number 2. Would I be willing to play for another team, hypothetical number 3? The answer is yes.
I'm just so glad I don't have to sit and listen to those pressers anymore. And the last major difference between those 2 QBs is their contract situation. Kirk Cousins signed a massive 4-year, $180 million deal last offseason and is still under contract with the Falcons. This means that not only would the team have to give up assets to acquire him, but they would also have to pay a large chunk of that contract, and that's assuming the Falcons would even be willing to eat some of it. Oh, and Cousins has a no-trade clause, so even if a team is interested, Kirk can still say no. Rodgers, however, is a free agent and can sign anywhere for as long or as short as he and the team agree to. Rodgers and the Jets had originally agreed on a 3-year deal worth just under $113 million, so if he ends up with a contract with a similar average annual value, he still may be significantly cheaper than what would be owed to Cousins. This is why I have to go with Rodgers here. There is still uncertainty with both quarterbacks as far as health and ability at these advanced stages of their careers, so it just makes sense to go with the QB that was playing better as of late, will cost less, and won't take anything extra than a phone call and a contract to acquire his services. But hey, not every team is looking in the bargain bin for a gently used QB with some tread left on the tires. Some may have a chance at picking a gunslinger in a couple of weeks and may be lucky enough to land Ole Miss QB Jackson Dart. For more on why we believe he is at least the third best QB in the draft, check out our recent point of view. And the moment you've been waiting for, here's the answer to today's trivia question. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you back here tomorrow.